back. Happy Manga Monday. And if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Zoe and this is my channel, Ms. Manga, where I talk a lot about manga. And if you also love manga or are interested in, learning more about manga and different series, then I would encourage you to hit that little subscribe button down below and join me here every Monday for a manga themed video. And today's video is going to be split up between cute spooky and creepy spooky reads. So these are all complete series, and I did get this idea from these mugs I bought at TJ Maxx, because this is the Good Witch mug. So I'm going to be having some tea in my Good Witch mug while we talk about the cute, lighter vibe spooky reads. And then I'm going to be switching over to the other mug that came in the set. So then you'll know the tone is shifting and those will be more darker, creepier reads. So I'll let you know verbally as well. But yeah, that is the whole gist of this video. And it was inspired by mugs. So yeah, grab a warm beverage. I absolutely love tea, cider, coffee during these chilly days of October, and just get comfortable and enjoy as I recommend these Halloween vibe reads that I think are definitely worth checking out. Okay, first and foremost, I'm breaking my rules already. I know, what can I say? I really want to give a shout out to an honorable mention because I plan to read this for this video. And as I was reading it, I found out that there actually is a third volume in the works, and it's not technically complete. But, I already read it for this video and it's super sweet and I totally recommend it. So I'm just gonna give it a shout out here first. And that is Daily Report About My Witch Senpai. So when I picked it up, and up until recently, I thought this was complete at 2 volumes. It was a short office place romance with a witch in it, and it was super cute, I have to say. Like, I absolutely enjoyed it, and I think it's totally worth picking up. But yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, if you were dying for more of this series, which I'm mildly hopeful that it'll be a worthwhile addition, because I do like a short dose of romance, and this was a cute short series, but I'm open for more too, so we'll see what volume 3 brings. Anyway, this is about Misono, an office drone who has his ups and downs at work, but thankfully he has an ally in his senpai Shizuka, who just happens to be a witch. Shizuka is always ready to lend a hand to those in need, but Misono thinks she should take better care of herself, since zipping around on a broomstick to run errands can be quite stressful. Is Misono's overprotective concern for Shizuka driven by mere respect for this senpai? Or could it be more? Let this magical romantic comedy cast its spell on you. So yeah, that's the summary. I think it's super cute, even if it's not complete and shouldn't really be on this list. I don't care. Pick it up if you want a dose of workplace romance with a touch of magic. All right, we're officially at the list now. Sorry about that. And this one is complete, for real. And my first recommendation of a cute spooky read is Chibi Vampire. This is an older series and it's a romantic comedy, which might not be for everybody, but so freaking cute. I don't know. I absolutely love it. I first was introduced to this in the form of the anime called Karen. When I watched it, Karen, I don't know how you say it, but yeah, but it's also known as Chibi Vampire. And although the anime was a huge hit for me as an adolescent, I have to say the manga is way better. It goes into more detail, it's way longer and covers more, and doesn't wrap things up quickly like the anime kind of does. But yeah, so I think this is a really sweet, spooky read to read this October. Let's get into the summary. So Karen here, or Corinne, is a vampire with a twist. She experiences intense bleeding from her nose once a month. So instead of stealing blood from humans, she gives her blood to them, and if done properly, the benefits are positive for both. So in order not to just bleed excessively once a month. Anyway, she will, instead of taking blood from humans, give them blood. And this kind of rejuvenates the humans, and it, makes it so her life isn't like, a bloody mess. So works out for both parties. And honestly, this is just, like I said, a sweet, wholesome romance, a little romantic comedy. It's got a lovely cast of characters, not only Karen and the main male protagonist, but also especially Karen's family of vampires. They are so eclectic and interesting and eccentric, and I really enjoy them all. So yeah, this is just, to me, a really fun, spooky read. Oh, and it's complete at 14 volumes, by the way. So it's a bit of a longer read, but I feel like if you like cute, spooky, and some romance in your manga, then you can't go wrong with this series. Next up is more of a slice of life fantasy series. If you enjoy that, like you're maybe not a super fan of romance, but you still don't like scary, creepy, dark, then I'd recommend the splendid work of Monster Maids. So this is complete at 5 volumes, making it a shorter series, but I honestly was happy either way. Like I felt like it could have kept going and I would have been happy seeing more of these Monster Maid girls working towards their end goal, but I also thought the ending was done pretty well, wrapped up very nicely, and I didn't feel like it was too rushed. So overall, I'd say it's a win, and I just absolutely love the Monster Maid girls. They are so cute. So our lead character, the character we are first introduced to, is the girl on the cover here, and her name is Sumeri. That's how I say it. I don't know if it's right at all. I'm sorry. Is a black cat who transformed into a more human form, and also known as a Nekomata throughout the series. And so she has been wandering the demon world in search of a place where she can belong. So in her wandering, she comes upon a spirited android and a compassionate undead. So these are the other two monster maids, and Sumeri is welcomed with open arms by them, and they are led by the sweets-loving elder prince, whose job is to travel around the demon realm disguised as monster maids. It's getting hard to say, tongue twister. Disguised as monster maids for hire, while secretly searching for the prince's lost magic and returning it to him. So yeah, it's just like a more cute, a little bit episodic, with the larger overarching plot being, the prince getting his lost magic back. And it, like I said, it could have kept going and I would have been happy. Like the little family, the found family that is in this series is really cute and wholesome, and I wouldn't have minded just, continuing to enjoy them. But at the same time, I liked the ending. I thought it was good overall series, and the conflict between the monster maids and the elder prince and the demon king's underlings, when they catch wind of them going around collecting magic, it comes to a head. So yeah, that's the overarching plot I mentioned. And yeah, I think if you just, wanted a cuter, spooky read that's got all the, monster type supernatural creatures you think of when you think of Halloween, but you don't like scary, again, this is a really good found family, wholesome supernatural read, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. So we are slowly starting to go towards the spookier, the darker vibes, but I think this third title really is still overall a cuter than a dark read, but I'm just letting you know it's a little bit of both. And this series is Tarot Cafe. So Tarot Cafe is actually a manhwa, and honestly, it's one of my favorite manhwas. I don't know why, but the art is beautiful. The story is quite episodic at first, where when we meet Pamela, our main character, who is a tarot card reader who helps supernatural beings living in the human world. So she'll help anyone, and so we meet a big cast of characters, especially in this first omnibus, like a love-stricken cat, a vampire spending eternal life running from his one true love, an unattractive waitress looking for a man of her dreams, or even a magician who creates a humanoid doll to serve the woman he loves. There's a lot of, different types of stories, but it all circles around our main character here, Pamela, who, although good-natured, hides a deep, dark secret that she must deal with before moving on to the next life. So she's got demons in her past, and they might come into her present sooner than she realizes. I really like the development of the story. It's more of a darker romance as it goes on. It's not romance heavy, but there is a romance element-ish to it. Just, so you know. But it's very much filled with a magic, a wonder, a kind of dark vibe, but it's not too dark, in my opinion, that I think if you don't like horror or scary, this is not horror. But just letting you know, it is more of towards a dark fantasy. And the art is amazing. Did I mention that? And it's a pretty short series. It is complete in 3 of these omnibus volumes, and the 3rd omnibus is actually only half really the actual story, so it's even a little shorter than that. But yeah, I just I really wish I could reread it. I've been wanting to reread it for a while now, and yeah, I just think it's one of those different style of spooky read to read, and I think it's quite an enjoyable ride. Yeah, I don't hear many people talk about this one, so if you've read it, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you not? Because I really did like it, so I'm curious to hear anyone else's thoughts on it. Welcome back for the second half. We're moving more into the dark and spooky, and that's why I got a mug change. I know you didn't come back, but I did with a new mug. And now I'm a wicked witch, here to spread some darkness in your lives. I don't know. Honestly, these are all good series as well, and I highly recommend them. But if you're a little more sensitive to spooky things, then maybe you won't want to pick them up. I'll let you decide. With that being said, I'm going to share with you the first complete series of the more darker, spookier type stories. And this one, again, like I said with Tarot Cafe, it's a little bit on the edge. I don't think it's super dark or spooky, but it has a little more dark elements, but it also has some cute, funny vibes to it. So yeah, it's more in that middle ground. So yeah, the next series we're going to talk about is the Voynich Hotel, and this is complete at 3 volumes. I really love this one. I've read it twice. It's just short and easy read to me. I don't think it's for everybody, kind of like Tarot Cafe, but where Tarot Cafe was much more serious in tone, this is much more dark comedy. And sometimes that just isn't for people, and I totally get that and respect that. But for me, it's a hella win. So, tagline to this manga series is you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave, in this dark comedy about a twisted hotel. After a series of tragic events, Taizo decides to make a break with his past and go on vacation to the tiny island nation of, this is where I butcher more names, Blefusco? Yep, the tiny island nation. And little does he know that his hotel is a hotspot for contract killers, drug dealers, ghosts, and a coven of immortal witches. So much for rest and relaxation. So yeah, there's a lot of dark elements, a lot of dark comedy, death and mayhem, but it's done in a less serious way. I mean, obviously, it's serious, but it's not played serious in this one. It is I grabbed the 3rd volume instead of the 1st volume. I'll be right back. So we're back. I got the 1st volume now. Just quality YouTube vids I offer for you. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, like I said, I don't think it's for everyone. I think that, you just have to have that type of humor that it you know, intrigues you, tickles your fancy. I found it fun. There's a bit of a romance element in this one as well, and there is a lot of just weird, goofy shenanigans going on in this hotel. And I absolutely love it. Like I said, there's not much else I can say about this series without giving more away, so I'm just gonna end it here to my Lender and say I highly recommend it if you like dark comedies. Next up is another short late series that is dark fantasy, and that is Yokai Rental Shop. You might have noticed that I talked about it a little bit in my last Monday's video while I was going through my horror series shelves. And though this isn't horror to me yet, I don't think we've reached horror, it is dark fantasy. It has got creepy imagery. It has, you know, those dark elements to it. So that's why it's in my, you know, more dark and spooky reads. And I just really like this short 4-volume series. So basically the like plot of the, I forgot my mug. Quality content, you guys, quality. There she is. Anyway, the general plot setup for this one could be summed up easily with just 2 words: supernatural pet shop. And that in itself definitely gives the vibe, the overall premise of Pet Shop of Horrors, which is a older series. I have not finished reading the manga, so that's why it's not on here. I'd love to read that soon, but I have read some of it and I really liked the anime, which only features like, I think it's only like 4 or 5 episodes, but each one is just creepy. It's give you that dark, creepy vibes. I love it. But yeah, anyway, I just haven't read through the manga yet, but it definitely gives that premise of that concept in this one as well. So the story begins when the lonely Hiragi Yasase learns that he has a long-lost half-brother, and he decides to go meet with him, but is shocked when he discovers his brother is the proprietor. Oh my god, that word is so hard. Proprietor, I did it, proprietor of a pet shop, one that is actually a front for supernatural rentals. So customers in the know can rent out yokai to perform supernatural deeds. There's just one catch: they have to forge a contract written in blood. Though they may have similar plot structures to Pet Shop of Horrors, in the beginning anyway, this is at its core, I felt like, more of a family drama, full of dark fantasy, of course, and the supernatural Pet Shop element features heavily in it. But yeah, more mysteries are revealed with their parental figures and what supernatural abilities they may or may not have from said parental figure. Again, don't want to give too much away. It's a short series, so it's just not one I can go into a lot of detail. Yeah, it's quick, easy read. I feel like dark fantasy, if you like supernatural vibes and a mysterious family drama at its core, then I would say give this one a chance. It's not super complex, but it's an interesting read in my opinion, and the art is also very beautiful, so there's always that. Alrighty, now we are definitely moving into the horror. I don't know, I'm in a special kind of mood. Anyway, so let's talk about our next read, my next manga recommendation, and that is Parasyte, and this is complete at 8 volumes. There's also a full color edition that has been coming out. I don't know if it's finished coming out, but yeah, I'm intrigued. I don't know, if you read the color one, color edition, and you've read the original, let me know if you think it's worth buying it again. I make stupid choices of buying series I already own because they come out with a new edition all the time, so yeah, let me know if you think it's worth it. And yeah, so the premise of Parasyte is they arrive in silence out of dark skies. They infest human hosts and consume them. So they are parasites, strange creatures who must invade and take control of human hosts in order to survive. Once they have infected their victims, they can twist their hosts' bodies into any abominable shapes they choose. Craniums splitting to reveal mouths of sharp teeth, bat-like wings erupting from backs, blades tearing through soft hands. Just visceral images. I love it. The body horror is a lot in this one. And then there's another one we get to that has some more creepy body horror later on in this video. Anyway, most of the parasites have chosen to conceal their lethal purposes behind ordinary human faces. No one knows their secret except an ordinary high school student, Shinichi, who managed to stop the infestation of his body by an alien parasite. But can he find a way to warn humanity of the horrors to come? I mean, it's a body snatchers horror concept, and damn, I live for it. The body horror, like I said, it's really good. It's really creepy, and just, I think it's really well done. The imagery, the art, yeah, it's pretty good. For this being an older manga horror series as well, it's still creepy, still holds up for sure, for me anyway. And yeah, this is a gruesomely dark series full of suspense, some thrilling action, and some devastating moments along the way as well. So yeah, Shinichi's body didn't get taken over by the parasite, but he kind of has to deal with cohabitating with the parasite now, because the parasite is still inside him. It just did not take over his brain, didn't full body snatch, but it's in his hand. So he has to like coexist with the parasite, and because he has this parasite in him, he can kind of sense and know more about the parasites, and that's why it's kind of like on him to warn the rest of humanity. But I mean, how do you when people you want to warn against look just like people? So I really like it. I think it's super creepy concept, and yeah, if you like that body horror or suspense in your stories, and you know, or you like suspense and you can handle the body horror at least, then I definitely recommend this one. It is such a great series, and yeah, I just really love it. Second to last, we have Monster. Sorry, I had an itch. We have Monster. This series is complete at 9 omnibus, wow, I cannot talk today, omnibus volumes, and I also mentioned this one and spoke very highly of it in my last Monday's horror series, you know, kind of shelf review, shelf tour. And I think it's a super solid read, and I realized I hadn't talked about it actually in depth on this channel yet, so here we are. I think if you like psychological horror, and if you like your horror to be more rooted in reality, then you'll enjoy Monster. Of course, there's some things that are a little bit ridiculous or exaggerated, shall we say, but all in all, these are our everyday horrors in life. So yeah, let's get into the summary. So Naoki Urasawa's unforgettable thriller follows a brilliant doctor's journey into the darkest depths of the human soul. Ah, just give me shivers just with that line. It's beautiful. Johan is a cold and calculating killer with a mysterious past, and brilliant Dr. Kenzo Tenma is the only one who can stop him. Conspiracy and serial murder open the door to a compelling, intricately woven plot in this masterwork of suspense. Everyone faces uncertainty at some point in their lives. Even a brilliant surgeon like Kenzo Tenma is no exception. But there's no way he could have known that his decision to stop chasing professional success and instead concentrate on his oath to save people's lives, a noble cause, if I say so myself, and I think most would agree, would actually result in the birth of an abomination. The questions of good and evil now take on a terrifyingly real dimension. So that's just part of the synopsis, get a little teaser in there. But yeah, this is a kind of cat and mouse dichotomy between Dr. Kenzo Tenma and Johan, who is murdering people and must be stopped. And I just, yeah, I think it's really good. Like it says, it's a great thriller, suspense. So if you like that, if you like kind of, it's not quite a murder mystery because you kind of know all along who's doing the murders, but the kind of the why, the kind of the what happened to get us to this point, and all those kind of things that come out throughout the story, I think are still worthwhile, you know, just because it's not a whodunit murder mystery. It's still a lot of mystery. And yeah, I think it's just really good. It's really good. If you just want your psychological thriller suspense read for October, still good heading into November. Like honestly, it's good any time of the year, but especially I think that type of read is just, to me, most enjoyable this time of the year. I highly recommend Monster. All right, and we're here at our last complete recommended spooky dark read, and it is the darkest of the bunch. It creeped me out a little, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little goosebumpy, a little unease when I finished reading the third volume. So yeah, with that introduction, we have PTSD Radio. So this is incomplete complete at 3 volumes. The mangaka went on a kind of permanent hiatus with this series. He is writing more to other series, but he has essentially stopped writing this series, and he has a very interesting reason why. It might have to do with real life supernatural happenings surrounding him in this series, which it just adds a really creepy element. Like honestly, even if it was just a case of like God, what's it called there, the Blair Witch Project, where it's not real, it definitely served to creep me out. Like if it's not real, he did a really good job of like making it feel legit and like creepy as hell. So yeah, let's go back to the summary of this one. So, carried into modern Japan from a forgotten past, the being known as Ogushi, if that's how you say it, haunts and tortures humans of all kinds. Little is known about Ogushi's curse, except that it resides in an unexpected place: human hair. Like Junji Ito's Uzumaki, PTSD Radio takes something every day and weaves it into a series of chilling, cryptic, twisted, repellent, and alluring manga stories that become more than what they first seem. So it's very much like kind of you're searching through a radio, so hitting on different stations, and you don't really stay with one station for too long. You get a little glimpse into what that station is, a little glimpse into the horror that that person is facing, and then it switches to another. Some of these stories reconnect or you revisit them. I honestly want to reread it again to like see more of the connections, because I caught a few, but I feel like there was more that I missed. But I'm honestly a little creeped out to read it again right away. I mean, call me a pansy, I don't know. It just, I was fine with the first 2 volumes, but I read the 3rd volume today, and that's when the real life elements get brought into it, his real life experiences and things that he was experiencing really creeped me out. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think this is for the squeamish. I don't, you know, if things like this, you know, ghost, spooky, supernatural things just creep you out in general, I just would recommend staying away from this one. But if you embrace the creepy and the supernatural, I'd say this is really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. Even though it creeped me out at the end, I really did enjoy it. And even throughout, it's kind of not entirely creepy because you keep flipping stations, and so you don't stay on any one creepy thing for too long. Yet the creepy things are these mundane, weird things that I think are innately human fears. So it just feeds on that, you know, like what's under your bed, looking in a window and seeing something creepy. A lot of them take place at night, a lot of them in your bedroom, that it's just creepy. And it's just those innate fears I think we all have as children, and that some people, you know, grow out of them real easily and other people don't. And I have to say, I'm still a little afraid of the dark, and I'm still a little easily creeped out. And yeah, I think this is a good creepy series. I just don't want anyone to be too freaked out by it, so I proceed with caution. I am a wimp. That being said, I still really enjoyed it. I don't like haunted houses. I don't like horror movies, really. I don't like things that pop out at you. I just get really freaked out by that. But I'm usually okay with horror manga. It never really phases me much, but this one got to a real place with me. So yeah, it's just a little creeped out still. Okay, moving on. Okay, so it's just done talking about that one. Go read it or don't. So yeah, those were ended up being 8 and 1 honorable mention complete manga reads that I really recommend you checking out. Again, it totally depends on your level of creepiness tolerance and what you like, you know? So I tried to include a variety. I really wanted to include Versailles of the Dead because it is zombie, but I haven't gotten the 5th volume. It's coming soon, but not soon enough because I really have to edit this and get this uploaded before I go to a wedding. But when this video releases, that wedding will have passed and my friends will have gotten married, so congratulations if you're watching. But yeah, so that's super exciting. But I want to, you know, get this video edited and uploaded before that, so I just couldn't wait and see and read through the last volume and see if I would recommend that series. But I'm just throwing it out there that Versailles of the Dead is a interesting zombie alternate historical fiction and taking place in like French Revolution times. And yeah, so I really think it's an interesting read. Just I don't know if I'd recommend it because I haven't read the last volume yet. So of course, as always, comment below what your favorite either, you know, cute Halloweeny read that is complete is, or your favorite dark, creepy Halloweeny read. Recommend me a complete series that I didn't talk about in this video. Always on the hunt for more of both in my life. And yeah, I just hope you enjoyed this video. And I know, you know, it's always a shit show in here, but hopefully it's a fun shit show. And with that being said, enjoy the last week of Halloween. I'll see you back next Monday for the last Monday of Halloween. And that video will be my Junji Ito tier list. So I really hope you watched that video. It took a lot of time and effort just reading through all of Junji Ito's published works. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy that one as well when it comes out next week. And until then,